G'day guys, Coxie's here, and today I'm bringing you a video on Vault Inu. Now first off, let's start with a new milestone we just hit yesterday, and that is 29,000 holders. This is huge for any token in its early stages, and to see how far it has come since I invested is insane. So congrats to Voltoshi and the Vault Army on getting 29,000 holders. And yes, I know we had a goal of 40,000 by the end of the month, but let's see if we can actually make it to 30k by then. I think it's easily doable. Let's get into this new Medium article that was posted. Now, I'm only going to mention the, in quotes, important parts of the article, but to be honest, the entire article is important, so everyone hopefully gets an understanding on what officially is going on, with not just how the migration will work, but also how they're implementing new features and benefits that will come after the migration. So if you're seriously interested and want to know, I heavily advise people to actually go and look at the article yourself. One of the main changes that this migration will generate is a supply decrease. So the current supply will be divided by a billion. So if you are holding quintillions, you will be now holding billions. If you are holding quadrillions, you will be now holding millions, and so on. It keeps going. So as I mentioned last video, the market cap and the USD value of your investment will both remain unchanged after the migration. So if you invested $100 and the current value is still $100, once the migration is done, you'll still have $100. So with the technical aspects of the migration, I will actually quickly read this. So for the sake of the utmost security, we will carry out this migration with a partner who has already successfully completed multiple migrations. The process is still being finalized with this partner, and we will announce his name in the coming week. The goal is to start the migration in the beginning of the first week of April, so that is not far at all, guys. And the current plan is to run the main migration for 1 week, during which you will simply have to approve a transaction that will send your Vault V1 tokens to the migration address and automatically send back Vault V2 tokens to your wallet. So after that 1 week, it will still be possible to migrate your Vault V1 tokens at any time in the future, but you'll have to wait a period of up to 1 month in order to receive your V2 tokens. So be warned, if you are not able to migrate within the first week of April for the main migration, you'll still be able to migrate your V1 tokens, but you'll have to just wait up to a month or possibly even more. I'm not sure how the process works, but I know from previous migrations, it can take up to a month or even longer. So I heavily advise trying to get in during that first week of April. So unlike most of the existing migrations, ours will not result in any trading interruption of several days or even weeks on Uniswap and PancakeSwap. In fact, the only time trading will be interrupted is at the end of the main 1 week migration period, at the moment for only 1 to 2 hours. Trading will be paused while liquidity is added to the new liquidity pools. So this is the same answer I gave in my last video. So for those holding Vault on centralized exchanges, as already announced, the migration will be done automatically, as we will contact all the centralized exchanges on which we are currently listed to migrate your tokens. Another technical point on which our community has already questioned us several times is whether the transfer tax will be applied during this migration. The answer to this question is no. So like I said in my last video, that 13% transfer sell buy tax will not be applied. The migration process will be built in such a way that the transfer tax will not be applied when you send your Vault V1 tokens, nor when you receive your V2 tokens. So when you're sending it to the migration wallet, there will be no tax, and when you receive it, there will be no tax. So the value in USD you send over will be the same value in USD when you receive it. So while we're on the subject of taxes, I do want to cover this real quick, because by the looks of it, they have changed the tokenomics on the new contracts. So our current ETH contract converts liquidity, treasury, marketing, and development taxes once it holds 690 quintillion. The conversion of these taxes generates a significant price impact, which, although every time attracting new holders, sometimes scares a bit of the people who are not aware of it. Therefore, in order to avoid these concerns and short-term scares, we will divide the limit at which taxes are converted by 100. This way, our future ETH contract will convert taxes much more frequently and in smaller amounts. So instead of the contract selling the big amount as it does currently, they're going to spread that out. So instead of selling in one big instance, it'll sell in multiple instances in smaller amounts. So you won't see a massive price action on the chart. This will be exactly the same as the tax conversion done by our current BSC contract. Now, burns. Currently, our ETH smart contract bears a total of 13% tax on all transfers, of which 4% are added to the liquidity pool, while in our BSC smart contract, these 4% are directly burned, forming one of the mechanisms making our token deflationary. After analysing our current liquidity pool, and with the aim of making Vault more and more deflationary, we come to the conclusion that it was definitely possible to lower the liquidity tax of our ETH smart contract to 2%, and thus allocate the remaining 2% to a burn tax. This small change will, however, have a great impact for all our holders, as it will make Vault significantly more deflationary, especially as most of the decentralized exchange trading volume is realized on the ETH chain. So as you can see here, on the current contract, 4% gets added to liquidity. That will now change to 2%, and the other 2% will be an automatic burn. And at the very end of the article, it says, it goes without saying that we will provide you with all the detailed instructions related to this migration in the coming days. In this article, we first want to explain in a detailed way how this migration will work and outline the massive benefits it will bring. This migration was a long reflection process, but we truly think that proactively addressing challenges is a must to reach the top. So this is all I pretty much wanted to cover from the Medium article. Hopefully this brings more information to the surface and people will start understanding what's actually going on, and if not, I am more than happy to answer your questions, as well as the Telegram. And once again, I always have the Telegram linked in the description. Now, I do apologize if this video seems a lot longer than the other videos. I just want to make sure that the majority of the information that is coming out is being covered. And the last thing I want to do is spread misinformation. Once again, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them down below. I'll try to answer them to the best of my ability. Or you can join the Vault Inu Telegram. I still believe the Vault Inu Telegram is the #1 place to go if you have any questions at all. Go there, join the VC, and I'm sure that there will be someone there to help you out. So once again, guys, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, please hit like and subscribe to keep up with my future content. And as always, have a good one.